So, you're playing Cube World, you want to level up, you kill all the enemies in the world, and nothing's changing, and you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? Like, am I missing something? Do I need a certain item? What's going on? Why can't I level up? Where's all the experience, guys? Where's all the experience? Well, here I am to give you a brief tutorial on how to level up in Cube World. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say and put on the record, I am not geared up to the gills like everyone else is. I have just some basic gear, but I've seen, read, and now understand how to fully level up in this game. Now, if you open up your inventory by pressing B for backpack or bag, you can see all my stats over here. I'm level 1. I have some gear, I have some loot, but I'm still level 1. My weapon level, my armor level, those are going up, but my level is level 1. How do you change this? So, Cube World definitely changed its leveling system very drastically from the alpha and from most RPGs, whereas you shoot the enemies, you get the experience, you level up. Pretty simple, and then you can level up to the point where you can use better gear, and then that gear allows you to fight better mobs, get better gear, and there's the loop. That's the loot cycle there. But in the new Cube World, it is definitely different. It is pretty different, and I actually like it. I think now that people have had a chance to calm their titties and to really dive into Cube World a little bit more, people are truly understanding how this game works in terms of leveling. And it's pretty straightforward, actually. So, you spawn into the world, you are weak. You got no armor, you have a crappy little wood something or other, or like a butter knife for a sword, and you start killing enemies. Typically, depending on the rarity, it's different tiers of enemies depending on the difficulty of the enemy. You want to aim for probably the white named enemies because they are the easiest to kill. So you start grinding them, maybe you get a random piece of armor, maybe a little bit of an upgrade on your weapon, but you're still not leveling up. That's where the exploration part of Cube World now plays such a big factor. Exploration before, in the previous alpha, to give you some context, was basically you spawn into the biome, you find the nearest town, you find the quest markers, you conquer those, and you go to the next biome. And so exploring new biomes rapidly was the quickest way to get experience, or one of the quickest ways. Now, however, it's definitely different in that your big goal is to explore, conquer, and dominate each individual zone or biome. What do I mean by that? So this here is one zone, a biome, whatever you want to call it here. This is another one off to its left. These are all here. Now, there is a kingdom. No one knows exactly what the reign of the kingdom is, how many biomes, but it is X amount of biomes. Let's focus on one for now. So you can see I've unlocked a lot of markers on this map. Not everything, but most. When you start off, you'll have maybe one little fast travel point and maybe a nearby marker. As you explore the land, talk to NPCs. NPCs are really good that give you quest markers. They tell you, hey, there is a gnome that needs to be saved in the Arira Canyon. Please go save him. There's a graveyard that has a crazy hard enemy. Go kill it. And so this is where the questing part of Cube World takes over, where you have to dominate, conquer, and complete each zone to really get the benefit of the level up. Now, again, Matt, you still have not got to the point, how do I level up? Great question. That's where artifacts, like I alluded to before, come in. Artifacts are, well, I'll show you in the inventory here. We have our regular equipment, specials, which, by the way, specials are exclusive to each biome or zone that you're in. If you have a hang glider, you go to the next biome, you do not have the hang glider anymore. You have to reacquire it if it's available in that biome. Just FYI. Items, ingredients, whatever, artifacts. These are permanent upgrades to your character. When you acquire an artifact, it is with you forever, indefinitely, and it increases some of these stats. It increases 4 of them specifically: your light radius, your sailing speed, your hang gliding speed, and your climbing speed. I'm pretty sure. But it's definitely 4 of these stats, and if there's any amendment, I'll leave it in the comment section below. But essentially, they are permanent upgrades to your character. They also increase your level. Now, the big hubbub that everyone is having is, well, why do I care to level up? How do I level up? What am I doing wrong? And you're not doing anything wrong. It's just what you're accustomed to in terms of leveling up is far different than what Cube World is now offering. And I frankly, again, really like this change, because instead of just going biome to biome and not really having any care for anything, you have to really conquer and destroy and own this biome. Once you do so, once all the check marks are kind of lined up, you'll have, and you may be anywhere in the world, doesn't have to, you don't have to clear all the check marks, but you will find a, let's call it, because I saw one area here that it might be the artifact place for me. Is it here? Yes. So I don't know for sure, but I have not visited this area right here. I've explored most of this map. There could be something over here in this arena, but let's say for argument's sake, this is right here. If I conquer this, if I defeat the boss or the enemies that are here, I get an artifact. Great. I get a permanent upgrade to my character. I now go from level 1 to level 2, and one of these things changes here. Then, and you, oh, by the way, it's been confirmed you can get multiple artifacts per region. It's not guaranteed, but you can get multiple. Someone said that depending on how many villages you find in here, that's not true. It's just random. Random is random as far as we can tell. But now you have your artifact. Now you've leveled up. Great. What does that mean? You can start acquiring gear, legendary gear. We all know what legendary gear looks like. That has a plus notation. So it will literally say, for example, whatever, legendary wood wand of Asgard, and have a little plus symbol there. The plus means you can actually take it outside of your biome and still have its effectiveness. If you don't have a plus icon near your or on your gear, as soon as you enter another biome or another zone, the gear becomes usable, but essentially null and void, kind of to level 1 again, baseline. So you can still use it, but every zone has its own loot, has its own gear, has its own things that you have to collect specifically in that area. So when you get the plus items, that allows you to, again, when I mentioned the kingdom of before, it allows you to explore more of the areas around you while still retaining the power or the quality, the true quality of the gear. If you don't, and it's just regular items like I have right now, and I walk into another biome, these all will become essentially like nothing. They'll become as if they're just basic, you know, level 1 armor. If you think of like old Cube World, level 1 stuff, very basic. It will not have the same stats. In the Desmi Plains, it will 100% retain its stats. As you can see, obviously I have, you know, different stats on my gear, but the leveling purpose, the reason for leveling is because you want to level up, get a little bit stronger overall, you know, permanent artifacts, etc. But more importantly is you want to, like I said 1,500 times, you want to explore and conquer each zone that you're in. This allows you to then farm for better gear, more, again, of the plus items, which allows you then to explore other zones in full power and be able to conquer those, farm the gear for there, and keep extending your range. So each zone, depending on the size and depending if it's an ocean biome, it might take you a little bit longer because it's harder to traverse. You also have to kind of dive for stuff. But in a regular land biome like this, it may take you 5-6 hours to clear out each zone. And then you can farm. Along the way, you might get legendary gear. You might get really great items. You might find something really cool. And the one thing you have to keep in mind as well, and I kind of alluded to this, is that, these special items, these allow you to access the areas that have the artifacts. So, for example, I don't have it in this biome, in another biome just off to the right there. I actually have something called the Spirit Bell, which allows you to go into the spirit realm and bypass certain doors that otherwise you could not in the normal realm. You have Divine Harp, you have the Sky Whistle, something else. So you have these special items that you acquire from completing quests, from talking to NPCs, from going to certain points of interest, acquiring them, collecting them, and then that allows you further as you grind and as you get a little bit stronger, your gear gets better, your weapons get better, you do more damage, you take less damage, or rather you could take more damage. Once that is all accomplished, then you can start really steamrolling everything. And then once you start steamrolling higher level bosses and quests, you start getting better gear, which allows you to farm which allows you to complete the artifact region, which then allows you, or artifact quest, then allows you to get the artifact, to farm the right gear, to get to the next area, to farm the right gear, and there's the level up progression. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's the best thing ever. I'm not saying it's the right thing right now. I'm just saying it's not a bad system at all. I think people are really freaking out and overreacting to the fact that it's very different from most RPGs and definitely different from the cube world we kind of know and love. But I think everyone should really give it some time and really dive into the leveling up process before jumping to conclusions and thinking that it's all broken, it's bad, it's crappy. I think a day after the beta, people have started to realize that it is a pretty decent system. It just takes a lot of time investment per zone. That may not be for everyone. In my opinion, I think it makes more of an RPG where you really want to, do all the quests, hit all the markers, get all the gear, tackle the hardest dungeons, the biggest bosses, conquer that, get better gear up, move on to the next section. I think that makes a lot of logical sense. People are getting wrapped up on the fact that there is no XP associated to it. Consider the XP to be null and void, but also not needed at all, because the way you level up here is I kill these guys, they drop a random gear, I go do a quest that's pretty easy, it drops gear, and then all of a sudden I start getting gear and getting weapons, and then I tackle the next hard thing. Gear, weapons, next hard thing. That's essentially what XP does for you. It allows you to get a little bit stronger. In this case, we get gear stronger, not stat stronger. We get gear stronger, and then we start tackling things like this. We start going, ooh, and you just start pooping on these guys. Like, whatever. An hour ago, this guy would have shit on me, And now I'm shitting on it. So here we go. And I'm about to kill him now. Super easy boss. Because he's a white level named enemy, and I am now what would be like a purple tier rarity. So I knock him down. I'm trying to knock him down here. Remember when I said I was going to poop on him? And he's kind of pooping on me right now. Want to dodge. Use your range as a mage. I just aggroed something there. Okay, and I'm going to finish him off right here with this. Okay, I'm hoping I can knock him down here. Come on now. There we go. And then you get your loot, which in this case is less than the quality of my armor right now, but that's beyond the point. Look, this bark beetle is actually harder than these enemies here. Take that in. This bark beetle right here is actually going to give me some problems. By the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm the laser beam mage now, as opposed to the other one, and this is so much better. These enemies? Yeah, they're enemies, yeah. So, that's how the leveling system works in Cube World. I think it is a pretty interesting system. I would love your feedback. Please give me all your feedback in the comment section below. We're going to go ahead and open that chest, by the way. But yeah, let me know what you think, where you feel like it fails, or more importantly, because constructive feedback is so much more important than just criticism. Constructive feedback allows you to make the change. What would you change? What would you improve? What would you change upon that would allow you, which you would feel would be better? Oh, I just got a magic book of crafting. Nice. I can now craft magic equipment. Haha, so there you go. Let's see if we got anything too interesting here. Decorated wood wand. Actually, I'm using a staff. No, I'm using a wood wand. So you can see my weapon armor is blue. My armor tier is blue as well. But this wand is not as good as my current wand, so I'm gonna just sell it eventually. Guys, do you think the lava's hot? Did it do damage? Oh, it does. Oh yeah, that does. That does a lot of damage. Whoop. But yeah. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear the feedback and criticisms that you guys have of the system, but more importantly, where you see that Wollay or Cube World in general can improve upon. I want good constructive feedback in the comment section below. If you're new, we'd like to see more Cube World, more guides, more tutorials. Hit the subscribe button and do all the YouTube junk like liking it and all that. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, and also, if you listened this far, thank you so much for watching the previous videos. I'm glad that it helped a lot of people. and I'm glad it is introducing Cube World to more people as well. So thanks guys for watching. Have a great one. Bye-bye.